Greetings. Welcome to the Brain Gauge channel. Often we get asked, what do those raw scores on the right-hand side of the analysis app? So if you look over here on the screen, you see this analysis app. You've got a bunch of numbers over here. And what most people look at, they look at the green, yellow, red bars. But basically, these raw numbers are translated into those scores. But let's take a look, and I'll just pull up my analysis app. And this looks a little different from yours because I can look at a lot of different things. This is just one of the case studies that we've looked at. And, and let's just look at the final data point. We'll just use that as an example. And so basically you have these values here, smaller numbers here, smaller numbers are better for example, reaction time. Everybody seems to understand that. The faster you respond to something, the lower your reaction time. In this case, this reaction time, this was the first reaction time in this typical battery that was given. It was 165 milliseconds. So reaction time variability are both timed, so they are in milliseconds. And this guy was in the top 1% of everyone that's ever taken a brain gauge test. Now this ranking is just kind of just for fun. It's so obviously it's not what's used to translate this value into something that's scaled. And over here you see did quite well on a speed score, and that's what reaction time is used to compute, is a speed score. Then reaction time variability is used to compute the focus score. Typically this ranges from like 5 to 15 milliseconds. And you see his score, 10-year-old kid with ADHD scoring 100% on focus. That's very good. Just ignore these values. Those are for future measures. And that's why it's on my analysis app, but not yours. Then let's go to sequential antidiscrim. What the heck is that? Anyway, if you're familiar with the test battery, you understand that. But this 17 is in microns. And that's really a pretty good score. You can't do much better than between about 5 to 10 microns. But 20 microns is a DL, or difference alignment, of 10%. But this score is also combined with simultaneous antidiscrim. Now this 116, that's a little bit higher. That's also in microns. But these scores make up the accuracy score, and they're actually used to determine, they actually contribute to the plasticity score. So you see the accuracy and plasticity aren't perfect. Whereas, sequential antidiscrim, pretty good. That's microns. And 116, that's in the 90th percent. That ranks 90th percent in the whole overall database. But anyway, then that's basically, again, that's microns. Now let's skip over this one again, and TOJ. Now over here, this might be a little confusing because it has the same label here as it does there, but TOJ here is in milliseconds. Smaller numbers are better. That's a pretty good score, and that's going to give you 100%. Again, skip over these values again. Duration discrimination, that is in milliseconds. And so that 40 milliseconds is actually how well could you tell the difference between 500 milliseconds and 540 milliseconds. That's just the difference alignment. So all these values like sequential antidiscrim and simultaneous antidiscrim and duration discrim, those are difference alignments because you're looking at the difference between two values on the test. TOJ and reaction time, those are more of like TOJ is a minimum inner stimulus interval that you can correctly answer or detect and correctly answer which of two stimuli came first. And reaction time is just how fast can it be. So that's not a difference alignment. But in all cases, smaller numbers are better. Anyway, duration discrimination gets fed into timing perception. And that's obviously over here, everything's in a percent. Now, then we have reaction time variability. Now, that's a second. So you've taken reaction time at the beginning and reaction time at the end. And what we do is we compute a fatigue score from those values. And so fatigue is dependent on both how well you did you do extremely well, you basically are going to do really well in fatigue. But if you do really, really poorly at the end here, then your fatigue score is not going to be that great. It's a little counterintuitive. But anyway, that's just the relationship between those values. And if you have any questions, please send them to me. I am at info@corticalmetrics.com. So hope you have a great day, and thanks for watching.